What is up, Zinger Nation? Welcome to the third ever episode of your new favorite Benzinga show, Moon or Bust. We are here today to talk about some altcoins, some shit coins, and some other cryptos, and some exciting news. We have a great one planned for you today. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce my co-hosts. I am joined by the pancake swappin', decentralized exchange hoppin', shitcoin talkin', Brian Moir. What is up, Brian?
What's up, man? I like that intro.
Thank you so much.
Festive and fun.
All right, and we are also joined today by Liquidation Nation, Ryan McNamara. How you doing, Ryan?
What's up, guys? Liquidation Nation. Hit it where it hurts, huh?
Sorry to do you like that. Okay, so like I said, we have a great show planned for you guys today. But before we can get into it, I need everyone to go down and drop a like right now. I'm not going to get started until the likes are going up exponentially, parabolic, just like Bitcoin does. And while you're down there, make sure to leave a comment. This show is all about the viewers. It's all about you guys. We want to hear your picks, and we're going to review all of your picks later on in the show. And while you're down there, make sure to subscribe. Alrighty. First up on the docket today, I think everybody knows what's been going on. Elon Musk has not been helping us very much with our positions. So what happened last night was Crypto Whale on Twitter said that Bitcoiners are going to slap themselves next quarter when they find out Tesla dumped the rest of their Bitcoin holdings. Now, this is pure speculation. He was just saying this as a prediction, and Elon had to go and say, indeed. How you guys feeling about that?
That sounds like
good.
I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's going to sell all of his Bitcoin. Maybe he will sell another portion and take profits. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I mean, all he said was indeed. So who really knows? He tweets out stuff like that all the time.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think, he said that he's not going to actually sell any of his Bitcoin. They're just going to, he's just doing it to kind of help the environment because Bitcoin has a problem with being very bad for the environment because of how much energy it takes, how much resources it uses and everything just to mine Bitcoin now. And it is a problem. And hopefully they've already been putting out fixes and talked more about how they can actually change this. And he said that if we can find a coin that's 1% of Bitcoin's energy usage, that's what he's going for.
Yeah, and we did get a ray of light in the darkness this morning at 2 a.m. Elon confirmed that Tesla has not yet sold any Bitcoin. Although I believe if they do, they wouldn't have to disclose it until their Q3 earnings report. So that might be something to look out for sure. But to your point, they're looking for a crypto that can use 1% of Bitcoin's like energy consumption, right? So that's most likely going to be a proof of stake coin. Now, this is all speculation, right? But some proof of stake coins like Cardano, which we're going to be talking about later, have taken off as a part of this news. So it's kind of crazy that Elon can tweet one word and drop the price this much. Now, this market is based on purely speculation, so it's to be more expected than in the stock market, for example. But what do you guys think? Do you think he has too much power? This correction's happened. A correction of this size happened 6 times in the last bull run, so it's certainly not out of the ordinary. But what do you guys think? Does he have too much power right now? Does he have too much control over the crypto market?
I do think that it is very strange that a decentralized entity can be so affected by just one person. I mean, he does have a lot of pull, and people will follow him whatever he says on it. And so it's kind of dangerous and a little scary, but also hopefully it can be used for good, and maybe we can sway out of it, soon enough once everything's more widespread.
Yeah, once it finds some stability. So we have a comment from Mark M that says, "You think Elon will start pumping the Musk coin?" I don't know what the Musk coin is, but there is also a definite possibility that Elon says no Dogecoin, that he's going to create his own cryptocurrency. So, what do you think, Ryan? Do you think Elon would create his own currency, and what would that look like?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible Elon would create a currency. I mean, that seems like something he would do. I'm not sure if Musk coin's already out. If it is, it's probably not made by Elon Musk. There's a
Right.
lot of different cryptocurrencies already on the market with Elon or Musk in the name, just trying to pump.
Hmm.
There's some that are even impersonating Elon at this point. So I'd be wary. I wouldn't believe that any of these projects are made by Elon until he comes out and actually says something about it.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did
definitely.
say that he is working with Dogecoin developers to make his own, project. So hopefully that will go into it. It might not even be a proof of stake. It might be a proof of work still, but on a different level. There are
My
some like
question,
the if anyone's used the Coin app or Pi Coin, or I think that's what it's called. It's kind of a pyramid scheme, but it's proof of work, but it's also it doesn't take any energy, so it's
Hmm.
doable.
well, my
Hmm.
question is why is Elon Musk trying to work with Dogecoin to create something that's environmentally friendly? Because Dogecoin's proof of work, just like Bitcoin.
Yeah,
So to secure the network in the same way as Bitcoin, it's going to take just about the same amount of computer power and therefore the same amount of energy. Obviously,
Right.
there's ways to get around it, but with proof of work, either way, you're going to be using a ton of energy. So why not
yeah,
just go right to the proof of stake coin? Why are you talking about Dogecoin, especially with so few developers
because
on the
I
team? Like, is
don't
it
think
really
he
going to go
even
anywhere?
knows. Like, and that sounds really weird to say because Elon Musk is very, very smart, very successful, and builds rockets that land themselves. But
Hmm.
he might not really fully grasp the idea that I could do proof of stake, but he's held on to Dogecoin so hard and pumped it, and I think he just wants to hold on to that and keep his image with Dogecoin alive and see if he
Yeah.
can change it or something like that.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
agree
Honestly, I
with
think
that.
it
And
just
also,
it entertains him.
Hmm.
yeah, and it's kind of telling that tweet that Elon tweeted out either a day or two ago. He was saying to increase the block size by like 10 times,
Hmm.
decrease transaction costs by 100 times, and just basically improve everything about the blockchain, which you really can't do without making trade-offs. So I think, at least for me, that kind of showed that Elon doesn't really quite know everything about crypto and he's still new to it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, he has so much other stuff on his plate. I mean, I know he's very bullish on crypto. I know he's a very big supporter, but he also might not necessarily he doesn't know, but might like see a problem and want to solve this one problem for a certain use case. Because I mean, it's kind of common sense. You would use proof of stake over proof of work, but he also, I mean, he's got 1,000 things going on all the time. This would
Hmm.
just be not very important. It would be important to him, but it wouldn't be on the top of his list of things he needs to get done right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Hmm. All right. That's enough about Elon for one day. I'm sure we'll end up back on it somehow. But let's talk about another person who's really influential in the crypto space, and that is Ethereum co-founder Vitalik Buterin. So, in case any of you don't know, the creators of the Shiba Inu coin gave half of their supply to Vitalik as a gift. And Ryan, do you want to catch us up on what happened today?
Yeah, sure. So, as most of you guys probably know, Shiba Inu is a dog-themed cryptocurrency, kind of similar to Dogecoin, but it's a ERC20 token, so it's a bit different. It's built on Ethereum's network. And what a lot of these cryptocurrencies are doing, specifically ERC20 tokens, because they're built on Ethereum, is they're donating usually half their supply to Vitalik. And they'll
Hmm.
say, we burned half the supply to Vitalik as tribute. What they're really doing is sending Vitalik half of the supply. So
Hmm.
in the matter of like a week or two, Vitalik ended up with some crazy $16 billion worth of these different cryptocurrencies. And then people were speculating, oh, is he going to sell it? Like, that's so much money. Is he going to dump on the market? I personally didn't think he was going to sell any. I thought he would just ignore it personally. But then a few days back, he ended up donating over $1 billion to a COVID relief fund. And then
Hmm.
just a day or two later, he ended up burning basically the rest of his Shiba Inu tokens, 410 trillion Shiba, which equates to, I think, $6.6 billion, which is just crazy.
That is ridiculous.
But
So
in the
what
long term, this seems like something that would be good for Shiba, because if you weren't to do that, then there would always be that underlying risk of somebody
Of
owning
him
half of
dumping?
the supply and market dumping. So, I mean, if
Yeah.
this project's going to be here for the long term, then I'd say this is a good thing for the coin.
So I wonder, do you know what Vitalik's net worth happens to be by chance?
It was around 16 billion
Wow, so
whenever
he gave
this happened.
so he
Yeah,
gave
I think
around
the 16 billion was probably the majority of his net worth.
wow.
Yeah, and that was including with the half of the supply there.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does own a lot of Ethereum, but he doesn't own an enormous amount of Ethereum. Probably less than you'd think. He owns, I think,
It's
just around a billion.
300,000. He owns
300,000
300,000
Okay.
Ethereum.
So yeah, right around $1 billion of Ethereum, which is a lot, but the market cap's like not quite half a trillion anymore, but it's a very large market cap. So being the founder, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, and Vitalik is the one who did push to make Ethereum a nonprofit. So he clearly doesn't have he doesn't care about the money as much as some of the other guys in the space do.
No, not at all. It's not about money. It's about the whole aspect of what blockchain technology is supposed to do. It's changing the world for the good.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. We have some pretty good comments here. I just want to circle back to that last topic before we cover some cool altcoins. So Polly T says Elon would never make a cryptocurrency because he is behind PayPal, which is set to be the link between cash, banks, and digital currency. I'm not sure about that because I don't know how much of a stake Elon has in PayPal at this point.
I don't think he has much. I mean, he was a part of the co-founding team, but
right.
He's not really. I don't think he gets anything from PayPal anymore.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure on that, but that is an important motivation to look into. And then we have one other comment from, let's see, from Richard Lloyd. Here we go. So Dogecoin will migrate from proof of work to proof of stake to make it viable, predicts head of crypto lending platform. So for those of you who don't know, proof of work involves using energy-intensive computing algorithms to cryptographically secure the blockchain, whereas proof of stake has currency holders lock up their currency in exchange for the opportunity to verify the blockchain and earn the fees associated with the transactions they verify, and they can lose their staked currency if they misbehave, so they're properly incentivized. If Dogecoin would migrate from proof of work to proof of stake, then it would cut down the energy consumption a ridiculous amount, and this could make it in that less than 1% of Bitcoin that Elon was talking about. But Dogecoin's development team is not very active these days. In fact, for about 3 years, from 2018 to 2021, they didn't push any updates to their GitHub, and they just started picking up activity again. But there's really a skeleton team left, and a lot of people were clowning Elon when he said he was working with them. They said, working with who? So what do you guys think? Do you think there's a chance that they could get the Dogecoin blockchain to upgrade to proof of stake?
I'd say sure there's a chance, but you can't just say something's going to migrate from proof of work to proof of stake because it's just not that simple.
Right.
So since these cryptocurrencies are all decentralized, right? So it's not like one entity. It's not like these programmers can control the cryptocurrency. You need to get all of the miners on board and you need to get a majority vote to actually upgrade the network. So this has been seen with Ethereum. Ethereum's been trying to go from proof of work to proof of stake for over a year now, and it's still not out. It's slated to come out hopefully by the end of the year, but nobody really knows because it's decentralized. You can't just go in and flip a switch and make it proof of stake. There's a lot of work that goes behind it.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole point of blockchain, right?
Yeah, and you have to, I mean, exactly what you said. You have to make sure everything's on the same page, or else if you try to do something like that, either it won't work or it'll fail. So you have to, there's a lot of moving parts. Like with Ethereum did their fork and it actually broke down. And so a lot of people, like the whole network went down for a second and they had to reconfigure it to make sure it wasn't lost. Only a couple nodes went down, not the whole thing, but it's very delicate.
So Will C asks, do you think altcoins like Ethereum are primed to overtake Bitcoin? And last week, I think maybe a third of people might have said yes. This week, it might be a little bit higher than that. What do you guys think?
I think it is primed to take over Bitcoin at some point. I mean, the fundamentals are there. It's a really good currency with a lot of use cases. But something important to consider is it's not all about the technology. It's about adoption as well. And I think that's a big draw to Dogecoin. And it's kind of the same thing with Bitcoin. Like Bitcoin is by no means the most technologically advanced cryptocurrency, but it does by far have the most users and the most institutional investors. So just because of its mainstream adoption, it can become very much more useful than other higher tech cryptocurrencies. So I think until we see the mass adoption of Ethereum, we probably won't see it take over Bitcoin, but its technology is definitely priming it to take over Bitcoin at some point in the future.
Yeah, down the road, I think it could eventually get there. I think they're always going to be like this, you know, Bitcoin, Ethereum. Ethereum will keep getting closer, but not overtake. But the thing about Bitcoin is it doesn't really have as many use cases as Ethereum. People know Bitcoin. It was the first crypto. Everyone knows Bitcoin. It's widely available, very easy to, you know, obtain now. It doesn't take anything to get some. Ethereum's kind of the same way, but the one thing Ethereum has is, like you said, that use case. There's a lot of things you can do on the Ethereum network. You can do a few things on Bitcoin network, but it's super slow. It takes forever to confirm. I mean, there's so many. Ethereum is just better in a lot of ways. Yeah. But Bitcoin is the first, and it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I am one of those people who think that Ethereum does have a chance, a pretty good shot actually, to flip Bitcoin this year. This market cycle, it got pretty darn close in 2017. And especially with this Elon narrative, it's looking more and more viable each and every day. I think Bitcoin's market dominance is now below 40%, which is quite low.
As opposed to being the only thing for a while.
Yeah, but the adoption is a good thing to keep in mind, right? And that's a really good point. So we have a commenter here, Daily Donkey. It says, you can buy BTC from an ATM down the street, which is...
Don't do it. Buy Bitcoin in your house, on your phone.
You're going to get scammed, but that is a good point.
Or
that there is
pay
a lot of adoption.
80% in fees and only get 20% Bitcoin. Don't just buy it off Coinbase. Even though it's going to, there's a lot of fees on Coinbase. Just stick to
a lot
safe.
Less than the ATMs. The ATMs say they don't charge fees, but really they're charging you like a 10% premium on Bitcoin. So they're charging you a lot more.
Yep. They jack up the price a lot and then they say it's fee free. Yeah, right. All right. That is enough for the Bitcoin topic. Let's get to some altcoins. Brian, you have a fun one for us today. LaunchX. What is LaunchX?
Yeah, I saw it on KuCoin this morning. I thought it was kind of interesting. It is pretty much just an IDO platform, and so they will help you launch the or you can use the platform to launch the token, use their KYC, use their different methods with staking. And you can either put it, as of right now, you can either put it on the Ethereum network or the Binance Smart Chain. And the roadmap will be to go to different blockchains like Polkadot and, et cetera. But at the moment, a Polkadot and Solana. So right now, I mean, it has a lot of promise, and it's pretty interesting. Since the market was kind of taking a bunch of hits everywhere, I liked how we did Internet Computer last week. This one and the one we will talk about right after this one are pretty exciting to me. I think Internet Computer and CTSI are the two most exciting projects in blockchain technology that have ever come out since Bitcoin and Ethereum. This one's pretty fun, though.
Yeah, this is cool. I've never even heard of this one before. When did it launch?
Like today or yesterday.
Wow.
I think today. Yeah, it's on CoinMarketCap. The pre-sale or the IDO is over, I think, tomorrow.
So you can still get your hands on the initial offering here, you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, I got it on KuCoin, so it's whatever price that it is. But
gotcha.
the price is set. It's not like a pre-sale or anything. It's just going on.
Yeah, for sure. No, this is an exciting new project, for sure. And then you were also going to talk about Cartesi, right?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure how to say that either. So I'm just going to say CTSI.
Sure.
Now, this one is really, really cool. You can use their SDK and their language and the way they have smart contracts.
Yeah.
To put it simply, in any language. And there's already, you can write smart contracts in Golang or and JavaScript and stuff like that. But this fully wraps and makes it super easy to write in whichever one you want. They have a large ecosystem, and you can write the nodes into anything you want. There's a lot. I mean, I can dive in a lot deeper of this, but it'd be like technical stuff and kind of annoying or boring. So I won't that much, but it's a layer 2 Linux infrastructure. So it can be adopted to anything, anywhere at any time. There's no limitations on wherever you are. If you are trying to code on a Raspberry Pi, or if you're doing it on your MacBook or your desktop, your Windows. So it's just really, really neat, I think. And
that's awesome. It's definitely going to open up smart contracts to a whole new world of developers, because like, especially on Ethereum, you can write in Solidity and that's about it. So when people can write in the languages they already know, why wouldn't they put it on a blockchain if it would help, right?
Yeah. And you can write in Solidity and then kind of parse it and use different snippets and stuff. But this is exactly what you said. It's going to make it so if you know JavaScript, you can easily just crank one out and not have to worry about compiling it into Solidity or something like that. So it's pretty neat. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So is that coin proof of stake or proof of work, and is it on its own blockchain or is it on Ethereum's?
It's a proof of stake. So it is a layer 2. I think it is on Ethereum, but it also has its own. It has like a split, so it can go to each blockchain. So it's kind of convoluted. It's kind of confusing. It's by one of the guys who did it is the founder of IOTA. So it has a lot of depth in it.
So the platform
basically, you guys can talk. I'm going to try to find the which exact blockchain it was, because it's kind of confusing how it's set up.
So can developers like code a blockchain on Cartesi and then put it up on whichever blockchain network they so decide?
How I understand it, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds super helpful.
I mean, that's a good way to put it, because that's how I kind of get it. I haven't. It uses how we talked about. It uses the roll-ups, so you kind of build your own roll-up. So whatever you're building, you can put it onto the Binance Smart Chain or the Ethereum network or Polkadot, something like that. So you kind of code in whatever language you want and wrap it with their SDK and just interject it into wherever you're going.
Yeah. So my understanding of this is that, like you said, Brian, it does a roll up. So it grabs a bunch of transactions off of Ethereum's blockchain, takes them over to their own Linux execution environment, where they can handle any language, any programming language. And that's how they're able to bridge the gap between Ethereum's accessibility and what they can do off chain or on the layer 2. So because they're rolled up from the first layer, they're still rooted in the decentralization and security of the main Ethereum chain, the layer 1 chain, but they can do whenever they want on their own layer 2. So this is definitely a cool project, one to keep your eyes on for sure.
Yeah, in short, instead of Solidity, they use it says countless mainstream software components to code smart checks on a Linux virtual machine, in order to scale the limits of Ethereum. So it, like you just said, it does a roll up, it compiles it, and then it kind of interjects it to wherever you need it to go or for whatever use case you have.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that one with us, Brian. All right, one more project for you guys, the Cardano project. I'm sure you already know about it, but Cardano was founded by Charles Hoskinson, one of the 8 Ethereum co-founders, who left the Ethereum project after a disagreement with Vitalik about whether it should be for-profit or a non-for-profit. Vitalik decided it would be a non-for-profit, and so Charles left and started his own project called Cardano. So Cardano has the benefit of being proof of stake already. It launched as proof of stake with their transaction computing the Cardano computation layer later this year, which will support smart contracts as well. So Ethereum is catching up to proof of stake, and Cardano is catching up to smart contracts. So it's going to be an interesting battle to watch play out over the rest of the year. And because Cardano was founded later than Ethereum, it's probably a market cycle behind, and there might be some bigger ROIs to be made this year on the project, especially even compared to Ethereum, and certainly compared to Bitcoin. So what do you guys think about Cardano?
So ADA has been a weird coin for me. When I first started getting into trading crypto and holding in this whole place, I was super all about ADA. I was telling everybody about it. I loved it. And they were actually one of those companies that had such a great team and such a great name behind them. They didn't need a product. They just had the token. And so they didn't really have their full suite. And now they're finally getting to that point. That was a couple of years ago. And now they're finally getting to the point where they're rolling out and being what they, have said they're going to be. So the kind of like XLM, the price has stayed down and hasn't gone up when you think it should. But now I think the moon is the limit. Definitely. This one's going to be a good one.
And despite all of Elon's shenanigans, Cardano hit a new all-time high on Sunday, May 16th. It really took off. For the longest time, it was hanging around $1.20, and it just went sideways for like a significant portion of the bull run. And a lot of people were saying that the Cardano ADA stands for $1 always, or they were calling Cardano a stable coin as a joke, making fun of it because it has not taken off until just recently.
And when it does go, whenever there's smart contracts and everything kind of launch, I mean, this bad boy is going to be something else. It's going to finally live up to what everyone thinks it should and be one of those top contenders. It's not going anywhere.
Do you guys know when Cardano is going to start supporting smart contracts and actually developing their ecosystem?
That's supposed to be this summer.
31st. I saw in comments. I can look at it.
Yeah, T-Chess says that he believes the smart contracts are going live on the 31st. So it's in their roadmap. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Yes, so the Goguen portion of their roadmap will support smart contracts as they launch the second layer. So Cardano is unlike Ethereum. It has 2 layers. So the first layer is the settlement layer. And that allows like payments to go through without having to pay super high transaction fees. So this definitely will keep costs down when we're doing payment settlements on the chain. And the second layer is where all the smart contracts execute. The gas prices will certainly be higher for that, but that makes a lot of sense actually.
And you can use their playground and kind of learn how to write smart contracts on the Pluto's Pioneer platform. I just pulled it up, and I'm probably gonna kind of dive in there and try to see what I can do. I think that's really, really neat. I'll probably fail miserably, but we'll figure it out.
And I thought I had this chart pulled up earlier, but now I'm thinking that I didn't. So here's like the past month. We'll go for the 1 year. So you can see like throughout the beginning of the bull run, it went up pretty nicely. Then it just hovered around $1. It really couldn't break through. And finally, just this past weekend, it went through $2. I personally have a position in Cardano. I like this. And as a mainly Ethereum holder, I think it's a great hedge in case Ethereum fails and Cardano does take over. I want to have some Cardano. And even if it doesn't, it will probably still grow and carve out its own niche in the blockchain space. So either way, it's really it's a win-win.
Agreed. I think it's gonna. I mean, in a year from now, $1 is gonna look like you're gonna say, "Dang!" Even $2 are gonna say, "Dang! I really wish I put more into this." Same with ICP. It's been below. Let's see. That's not
Yeah.
right.
So for those who don't know,
190.
ICP is Internet Computer. We covered it last week on the show, and it's on sale today for 15% off.
Yeah, I bought some at 300 just so everyone knows. I dropped it and I'm waiting for it to come down, get around this point, and then I'll get a lot more. But I got so excited about it, I had to. So this is one of the coolest. I think this is going to change blockchain technology and the internet as a whole.
Yeah, for sure. So we're getting some Cardano price predictions in the chat. We see someone says 350 to 20. It's a pretty big range. I think it could end up somewhere around $10 by December to January, February of next year. Once again, it's not financial advice. I do have a position in this. This is just kind of a bull run prediction in general. It's definitely a bullish scenario, but especially like if Elon picks it up because it's proof of stake, then there's really no telling where it could go.
He really should. $3 the team is crazy.
Sorry, 350 is a conservative estimate.
Definitely.
Especially, I mean, obviously, if the bull market keeps going, everything follows Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin crashes, the market's going to crash and it won't reach 350. But assuming we stay in a bull run, I think 350 is very conservative. I think $5 to $8 would be reasonable. Even what Eric just said, $13. I mean, that's not out of the question, in my opinion.
Well, once they get the where they have the smart contracts, that's whenever the price is going to influx because people need more ADA to interact with the platform, and so that will drive the price up. And like I've said it 3 times now, the team behind ADA is probably the all-star of all-stars in the blockchain space. So this one won't fail, and it'll just keep, it'll be solid no matter what. It'll stay strong.
Yeah, and something else to consider is ETH2 has been pushed back several times, and as we get closer to the end of the year, it's looking more and more likely that ETH2 won't even come out until 2022 at this point. So if ETH isn't able to scale by the end of the year and the bull market keeps happening, then these proof-of-stake smart contract-enabled coins like Cardano are primed to do really well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so we have Sweet Life Trader wants to know alt season. Ryan, what's alt season?
Alt season's when altcoins go up, and it typically happens after there's a leg up on Bitcoin. The market cycle, usually what happens is Bitcoin will pump, Ethereum will catch up, and then the money flows into altcoins. So when you see alt season, that just means altcoins are going up.
So do you think we're in alt season right now?
Alt season right now, probably not with the market, but if we see a bounce and then we see like Bitcoin and Ethereum stay in a range, maybe if we see Ethereum stay somewhere in the mid 3,000s up to 4,000, and I think if we see Bitcoin hold in the 50s, then we should be primed for an alt season. I would hope.
Yeah, so
I was gonna say, I would think that people who have Ethereum would probably be taking some profits while it moves sideways, and then put those profits into altcoins.
Exactly. So that's what a lot of the crypto investors are going to be doing. So when Bitcoin cools off, a lot of people start moving their investments into Ethereum. And when Ethereum cools off, a lot of people start going for the altcoins. So this summer is primed to be the second DeFi summer. It's going to be alt season for sure. As long as Bitcoin can hold the line. And yeah, it's going to be a fun one for sure. And we're going to be covering it all. So make sure you stay tuned. Make sure you drop a like on the show and subscribe so you can see all of our episodes this summer, and stay tuned for altcoin season, the DeFi summer. It's going to be hot. It's going to be big bags. So stick around, subscribe, drop a comment, and we will do everything we can to keep you up to date and making money.
Now, the one thing is there, like a couple years ago in 2017, there was the ICO boom where Ethereum was launched, and so you could finally make your own token using Ethereum's scalability and security and technology. Now, it's 20 times the amount of resources and opportunities to do the same thing. So I think like 2017 made a lot of people a lot of money. Then it fell. Bitcoin went to, I think, like around $3,000. Ethereum went below 1,000. And this was just like 2 years ago. Like 2017 it started, and then it started falling. And then, I mean, what, in December of 2020, Bitcoin was at 35,000, and think of like where it's at now, and Ethereum the same kind of scaling. So we are going to see a ridiculous amount of new coins, new tokens, and new opportunities to get into, and it's only going to keep going. It might have a little bit of pop if Bitcoin falls down, but there's going to be another one, and everyone knows crypto now. Everyone's investing in crypto. Everyone has access to it, so it's not going anywhere, and it's going to be a wild ride.
Yeah, and while the news is talking all about Bitcoin's volatility today, people are going to get bored of it pretty soon once they get used to crypto, and they're going to be looking for bigger and better gains. So they're going to be pushing into those altcoins this summer, looking to beat Bitcoin's return. That's really the goal of a crypto investor, is to outperform Bitcoin, because if you can't, then you should have just held Bitcoin, right?
That's a good point.
Yep. All right. I think it is time for Moon or Bust. What do you guys think?
We can throw it to him.
All righty. So for those of you who are new to the show, we are doing a chat segment where you guys give us tickers. You guys tell us coins. We're going to look them up, do some TA, do some fundamental analysis, or pretend to, and we're going to tell you, is this coin a moon or a bust? This is not financial advice. These are just our opinions. So before we get started with the moon or bust segment, I'm going to need to see a shit ton of tickers in the chat right now, and I need to see a shit ton of likes right now. Going up right now. We are not getting started until we get at least 20 more likes. So let's get it going. Drop a subscribe while you're down there.
Guys, we need some like Jeopardy music in the background while this is happening.
Yeah. Will you sing for us?
Da, 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 da. Hey, this way we don't get copyright either. Folks, smash that like. We're seeing it run up a little bit. What are we, 83, 89? All right, we're seeing some movement. There are 375 people in this room right now. Let's break. We gotta at least break 100 likes, and we're only 8 likes away from that. So come on. Let's keep it moving. Honestly, I want to see it hit 150 by the end of this show, because we're talking about the coins that you guys are suggesting. So you guys got to help us make this content for you.
There are some good coins in there, like actually,
absolutely.
Just nonsense.
I see the comments running through. All right, here we go. 103. We broke that.
Let's go. All right, we can officially get started. Thank you, producer Rohan, for the update.
Looks like XRP was the first.
XRP is the first one. All right, let me pull it up. You guys want to get started talking about it?
Yeah, this is a kind of a crazy story for a crypto. Long story short, the SEC cracked down on them because they said they were offering securities for a return, when they were really trying to just sell their coin. But the way it was all played out got them banned from trading in the US. So now they're kind of coming back and making a name and getting out of that little mess. And the way I just explained, it's the very, very short, very simple, very easy way. So don't at me.
Yeah. So Ryan, can you tell us what Cardano is, or not Cardano? We already did that. Can you tell us what Ripple is for? Who's going to use Ripple?
To my understanding, Ripple's used for like centralized banks to send money across countries.
Yeah.
I don't know too much about XRP, but I don't really believe in it, just because it is pretty centralized. It seems like there are other solutions out there that don't use blockchain technology that can do similar things to it. That being said, I am very bullish on XRP. I don't think the SEC is going to end up charging XRP with what they're trying to. So far, the lawsuit's been going really good. I don't think it's over yet, but so far it's been looking good, and that's why we've seen the surge in price. And if they do win this lawsuit, then all these U.S. investors are going to be able to get XRP again.
They're going to be flooding in,
I believe that the price is going to shoot up.
Yeah, I mean, and look at this triangle right here. That is primed for breakout.
And back in 2017, this coin shot up like crazy. Like within the span of a month, almost 1,000%. So there's definitely people that remember Ripple from 2017. And if it does get listed, then they will remember Ripple and they will probably invest in Ripple again.
Yeah, I am very bullish on this one. I'm giving it a moon.
Me too.
Agreed. I mean,
3 moons. It's a moon, boys.
I'd say I agree that it might, it might not be the best one, but it's one of those old school coins in crypto talk. And it's a lot of people know it. It's fast. It's easy. The supply is ridiculous. But yeah, we can move to the next one.
Alrighty. Next up, we're going to go to storage. So I believe, Brian, why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, okay. They, it's pretty much, they have it set up to where you can earn or pay for your extra storage, like your storage space on your hard drive or whatever hardware you have. And it's a great idea. There's a couple of these out there that do this, but the way they have it set up, it's really user-friendly, easy, and I'm very bullish on Storj.
Nice. The technicals look pretty good.
What do you guys think about it? Do you know? You guys know? Have you
solid dip? What's the all-time high on it?
So it hit
280 in March. And then what about back before July 2018? What about that bump?
So let's see. It has a 52-week high of 391, and an all-time high. I think that's up here. Yeah, here. All-time high 391, and this did happen in the last 52 weeks.
So that's pretty enticing. I mean, I like coins that have already broken past their all-time highs from 2017. I think we're pretty far in the bull market at this point. If you're still in coins from 2017 that haven't passed their all-time high, in my opinion, I would think it's pretty likely that they may not, just because of all the traction in this bull run so far. And being that this did surpass its all-time high and now is back down at a decent dip, it looks like it could be a good buying opportunity.
Yeah, most definitely. All right, so what do you guys thinking, moon or bust?
Definitely a moon.
I'm right there with you.
Go with moon. I'll go with
I like Filecoin a lot more, but it's a different aspect. It's such a different, they do it a little different, but both of those, just any extra thing that you have on your computer or hardware, i.e. being space, graphics like render, where you do the graphic, you can use someone else's graphics power, GPU power. All that stuff is huge, and it's going to be game changing. All these things are going to be great. Nice.
All right. Next up, we have T-Chess with Thorcoin. So Thorcoin is part of the VeChain ecosystem. If this is the Thor that I'm thinking, this is a different Thor.
Is it VET, or are we going with Thorcoin? Like,
no, I guess this is not VThor. This is just Thor. So I have not heard of this one. It's the 4,000th biggest crypto. So this is very small cap, $280,000 market cap.
I don't know anything about this one.
This coin has been around for a couple of months now. And there's not too much on it. It's kind of hard. You can get on PancakeSwap, so it must be a BSC token. And let's see, Asgard.finance.
I would guess it's usually the same thing that we've covered on those other ones, where it's a DeFi token, high slippage, burn goes back, all that typical.
Yep. Yeah, so we've seen this before. There's a chance you can make money on it, but it's probably not a very fundamentally sound investment. Yeah. Ryan, what do you think?
I'm thinking it's a bust. I mean, when you get down to this small of a market cap, it's really hard to tell. You could make insane returns, like 100, 1,000x. So, like, if you do want to invest, I would recommend not putting more than $10 or $100 in it, because if it does take off, you'll see yourself with some good money just off of 10 or $100.
Right.
But the likelihood it does take off is really small, being that it only has a $285,000 market cap.
Yep, most definitely. And Ryan, while you're at it, fill us on Shiba Inu.
Shiba Inu. So Shiba is in ERC20 token, so that means it uses Ethereum's network. It's kind of similar to Doge, mostly just because it's a doggy themed token. But they are looking to create their own DeFi ecosystem. So they're looking to build smart contracts to buy and sell Shiba, stake your Shiba for interest, but you won't be earning interest in Shiba. Instead, you'd be earning interest in Bone. So there are 3 different cryptocurrencies on Shiba Inu's platform: Shiba, which is their native cryptocurrency token; Leash, which I believe was pegged to the price of Doge. And then I think it got unleashed, they say, so now it's not pegged to the price of Dogecoin. And then their third is Bone. Logan has that pulled up, but I think that might be an imposter. To my knowledge, I don't think Bone is out yet. I think Bone is coming out when Shiba Swap comes out. And like I said, that will be people's rewards for putting up and staking their Shiba Inu coins.
And Bone,
so you can passively earn Bone through your Shiba.
Bone might not even have an intrinsic value. Kind of like Clever KLV did this sort of thing, where you sent X amount to go be burned, and then you got KFI back. And right now, it doesn't have a price. It doesn't have any value, but it will down the road. So I think Bone will eventually down the road. But this is like any of those other, it's the only 3 that I really like is Shiba, Safe Moon, and Aqua Goat. If we're talking about the BSC chain, Hungry Bear is another one that is pretty promising, but all these are super risky and super volatile. So it can be kind of gambling.
Something else to note with Shiba, guys, is even though it's $0.000015, it's not going to $1 anytime soon. It has a huge circulating supply of 394 trillion Shiba tokens. As you can see right below the Shiba Inu ticker, it's ranked 28th, and it has a market cap of over $6 billion. So for this to get up to the largest cryptocurrency in existence, it would have to probably 150x, and if it did that, it's still going to be under 1 cent.
Yep. Yeah, so just because it's lower than the price of like Ethereum or Dogecoin or Bitcoin does not mean that it has the same supply and then it could reach the same levels.
Yeah,
so
market cap and all that stuff does not always correlate to the price. A lot of people don't understand that. There's a lot of zeros there, so it looks kind of awesome. Like, if this dropped 3 zeros, I'm a millionaire. But you got to think about how what would have to happen for
what
that
would that
happen.
take.
And in market cap, and so you got to take all the factors in to figure out what the price of the coin or where it's going to go eventually, either way. So
so this coin has a $6.1 billion market cap, with barely any real product available right now. So obviously it's based on speculation. The whole crypto market is based on speculation. Not saying there's not money to be made here, but this probably isn't an investment you should recommend to your grandparents.
And I'd assume it's up today because Vitalik burned his supply of ETH. So the market's bleeding. This is up. So congrats if you're in Shiba right now.
Yep. Good job, guys. All right. So we have a couple people asking
ICP
for VeChain.
and DET. Yeah. That's what I thought when he said Thor. I thought that they were talking about VThor.
Okay. So VeChain is a pretty cool project that focuses on supply chain and putting that on the blockchain. So you could, for example, scan the peel or the sticker on your banana and see the farm that it came from, and that would be all automated with smart contracts on the blockchain. And VeChain is making this happen. They are currently the number 19 biggest cryptocurrency, and a lot of people are very excited about them. What do you guys think? What's your take?
I like it. I mean, it's been up. It's definitely a solid solid one that has a lot to go. It deals with classic blockchain you know, they want to do a supply chain and they want to make sure everything is very easy and seamless if you integrate their platform into your company. So I mean, it's got a lot of promise, and I think it's Chinese, or I think it might not be Chinese, but I know it's a certain company with a lot of infrastructure. So it could definitely be. I mean, it could be a huge one down soon.
Yeah, VeChain was created by Sunny Liu, who was formerly the CIO of Louis Vuitton China. So he has a lot of supply chain and real business experience, and now he's transitioning into blockchain. I'm pretty excited about this one myself.
I can't believe I knew that it was Chinese. That was not a guess, but
yeah. And VeChain has been trading since 2018, so it has its time on the block, no pun intended. And now it's finally gone parabolic, looking to it's made a little bit of correction as the market has. Now might be a good time to get in while it's on sale, as I like to say.
Like ICP.
Just like ICP. Ryan, you've been kind of quiet about VeChain. What's your take, moon or bust?
Well, I don't really know too much about VeChain, but what I will say is when I look at blockchain products, I think how does decentralization really help the product? And in this case, I'm not really sure if there's a huge use for blockchain technology, because a lot of these things that are being done decentralized can just be done by the company, right? Because companies can manage their supply chain in other ways. And when centralized companies start using blockchain technology to do things, usually it just creates inefficiencies.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't really know much about VeChain. It's a pretty high market cap coin, and I'm assuming there's some pretty clear benefits of using VeChain over a centralized supply chain management.
Well, their blockchain is pretty centralized.
Yeah,
they have their own chain.
Proprietary.
It's called the VeChain Thor chain. And there's also they have a second token called VeTho, which is used to run. It's like the native asset of their centralized blockchain. So you make a good point. You definitely have to look at the use case for decentralization. Why? Like, what does this product have to gain from decentralization? Supply chain, maybe not too much, but blockchain on the supply chain, there's definitely some potential there, I think. So I'm going to give this one a moon.
Yeah, I'll give it a moon too, because it is pretty centralized. It's not like an open governance. I mean, their whole, it's almost like a blockchain as a service kind of thing, where they build your infrastructure for you and use VeChain, and it's just super. Their selling point's kind of like the IBM blockchain, where it's super easy and straightforward to integrate into everything, and there's not as much downtime. So it's got a lot of promise.
Yeah. So Solar Up says, the guest on Power Hour earlier today commented that Charles Hoskinson, the former co-founder of Ethereum and the founder of Cardano, that Charles should team up with Doge in order to learn why it's so great and how it can improve. I saw this on Power Hour earlier today. Shout out Luke Jacoby, and I couldn't help but chuckle. First of all,
Doge, so great.
The guest on Power Hour said that Cardano could learn from the Dogecoin developers, and that made me laugh.
Yeah,
because what Dogecoin developers? What does Charles have to learn from them? Like, I disagree with this. I think this guy was just trying to pump Doge. What do you guys think?
Yeah, that's definitely a no. The Cardano chain is, that whole company's everything, like multitudes better and more advanced than Dogecoin. Dogecoin is just a fork, and it was just made just to make it. There's no use case for Dogecoin. Dogecoin shouldn't even be up as high as it is. It just is.
Any thoughts, Ryan?
Yeah. I mean, the team on ADA is so big, and it's so much more technologically advanced than Doge. And even before that, he was one of the co-founders of Ethereum. Like, come on, he's not going to be learning much from Doge developers.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe have to change the text to Comic Sans, but other than that, probably not.
Yeah,
that's a good one. The creators of Dogecoin created the project in about 2 hours, and the majority of the time was spent figuring out how to change the font to Comic Sans. So no disrespect to that guest on Power Hour. We love all of our guests here at Benzinga, but I'm gonna have to maybe you could come on our show and we could hear your take on why Cardano could learn from Dogecoin. All right.
It's gotta be
We
a
have
joke.
time for it wasn't. We have time for a couple more coins. So let's go for Mana. You guys know anything about Mana?
Is that
Mana's
the
pretty sweet.
the
Decentraland.
NFT game, like where you can build your own? Yeah, Decentraland.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. So what this is a blockchain game where you can buy NFT pieces of real estate, virtual real estate in this game. And yeah, it runs on, I believe, the Ethereum chain. I think I got into this project towards the end of the summer, around, I think, 10 cents. So it's been a good position for me so far. One of my biggest gainers of the whole market cycle. And I think it definitely still has some room to go up, especially with this dip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this boom was probably correlated with the NFT craze, being that a lot of the stuff on Decentraland's NFTs. But it's definitely very interesting. If you go on Decentraland's website, you can look at the real estate prices, and it's very limited, but also very, very expensive. Some of these pieces of real estate, and mind you, it's all virtual real estate, is selling for millions of dollars. And I guess the thought behind it is they're creating their own world, almost like their own New York City. Like there's a Times Square, and like the middle of the map, like the prime locations sell for more. And people can just build whatever they want on Decentraland, and they can even like monetize it. They could make museums, they could make like amusement parks, they can invite people, they can charge people to access their land. So they just want to build like basically a huge virtual reality world where you actually own the land through the blockchain.
Yeah. And we got a comment from Kevin saying that we're Doge haters. We're not Doge haters. You could make a lot of money on Doge. We just think that there's more solid fundamental projects. But if Elon's gonna hop on Doge, then like who knows, right? Who knows where it could go? And with the blockchain, a huge part of it is how much adoption it has, right? So Bitcoin is big because you can go to the ATM down the street and pick up some Bitcoin. And if Elon makes Doge acceptable for like a real form of payment for Teslas, then there's some real use case there. So we're not Doge haters. Come on.
Yeah, I saw someone said that it's a Dodge is a BTC fork, and if Dodge is bad, Bitcoin is bad. We're not saying it's bad. We are saying that it isn't supposed to be what everyone thinks it is. It was a joke. It was made as a meme. It's just a fork of Bitcoin with a few extra tweaks to it to make it faster and slower. So of course it's solid. I mean, it's workable technology. It's not anything besides a meme, and people are giving it utility, but it wasn't meant for all of this. That's what we mean by that. And we should cover ICP for just a couple of seconds. I saw everyone talking about it. We did. If you want more about ICP, go back and watch our previous show, because we did a lot more info on it. But that's definitely a moon too. Just saying.
Yeah, so here is the chart for ICP. Ryan, you want to tell us what this project is about?
Yeah, so this is another smart contract enabled blockchain. I don't think it's either proof of stake or proof of work. I think it uses a completely different type of consensus model. I think it's called key cycles or something. It's very, very technical. It's made by the Dfinity Foundation, which is a huge team, one of the biggest teams in crypto, over 180 different team members. And the price shot up to over $700 on Coinbase when it was listed, which was just insane. Now it's down to a modest $200, which ranks it, I think, the 9th largest cryptocurrency. But essentially what they're doing is, through all this innovation, is they've been able to make cryptocurrency that has an unbounded capacity that runs on internet speed. So you can execute smart contracts on ICP, and it basically resembles the internet in that way. Like it will happen in milliseconds for super cheap fees. As far as the ecosystem goes, I don't think it's too developed yet, but otherwise it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's got the thing about this one is the promise that it's going to have. If it is successful and works the way that you look at it and the way they kind of laid it out, it will absolutely change the internet as how we know it, because it's going to just change how everything is done. And they've already have these dApps developed, they're going to take over Facebook, LinkedIn, and all those things where people are complaining about privacy, complaining about their data, all that stuff. Well, here is the solution to that doesn't have to be, those aren't going away, but you'll have an opportunity to use something that everyone else will be using. The way they built it, everything, it's probably one of the most exciting projects I've seen.
Yep, definitely a moon.
Blockchain technology.
Unfortunately, we are out of time for today. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Thank you for dropping a like and subscribing. And especially a big, huge shout out to everyone who participated in our Moon or Bust chat segment. Thank you to everyone who commented and has been watching. We will be back Wednesday at 2 p.m. You can look forward to the show Monday and Wednesdays at 2 p.m. going forward, all the way through DeFi summer, through the bull run, and beyond. So once again, my name is Logan Ross. I'm co-hosted by Brian Moir and Ryan McNamara. Thank you both for the great work today, and we will see you on Wednesday.
All right. And folks, one last thing is just want to make sure you stick around. Up next live, it's only 7 minutes, is the next Benzinga office vlog, where in the office, Jay, one of the interns, does a pretty insane magic trick. My mind was for sure blown. I don't know if you were there, Logan, but it was pretty sick. So stick around because you will be redirected to that next. And of course, it has been an amazing episode of Moon or Bust.
Thanks for having me.